The first poem I'm going to read is essentially a sound poem. It's an old poem, and I don't often read it, but I've been thinking about it lately. When I was younger, I had an ambition to write poems that sounded as if they meant something, but actually meant absolutely nothing. And I'm glad I disabused myself of that idea, because then my poems would be like so many other people's poetry. But this poem is what came of that. For Jim Brodie. Red fit zen, you sock me in, a lib gap hem, a fizz pit dock of beans in the quiet moolah ear, where eons vie and arrow quimtai, bugwise hocklaps. On viet anus, you imagine a fud lowbrick, the synap feuds that imbue a geo-viral ack-ow, and fuel doer naps that hoot wax and gack bum nine. As odors pan, umbilica kin hugs to vex eye awe, and doors bulge mica Nike toes, wan pixie ha, and vulgar Ike canoes fume timid neon hobo yap, the Luger pablum of ment nose-ode yikes. To rage Lulu meet and hose open the walk fib, you mope snooze, amble the geek, detour avenues, as Bambi eke ooze hungs lope, avid doggy rot, ascend with zonk, hue palm goo, o oxy fog tranks, wobble and up, in your cup, bellows of ovum, tinge of feral days. Poem. Now stop that sort of stilted talk. Get more serious, minded about your work, and let your words make trees walk like giant capital T's straight out of the forest. Poem. Good morning, you will be loved. On this glorious day, you will be hated, both kissed and despised. Good morning, bright steps rising to brownstone buildings, colorful individuals angling down them toward the train. Sadly, heedlessly, or in inspired, reckless ecstasy, on this glorious day, you will love, you will hate, both, kiss and despise. The grotesque beauty, the radiantly ugly, the genius or the just plain foolish and goofy, good morning all. On this glorious day, the boundless white beret is on your lovely heads. Go ahead, love and be loved, hate and be hated, kiss and despise, be kissed and despised. Miserable life. To climb the stairs with slippers, to slip off with every step, to feel one's foot slipping, or to not to put one's foot then, an accident, into the one wet mud rut and splatter the one woman you love. And at the theater, to shove, to slip in, just to sit behind a giant. And also, at the moment your most grandiose train of thought is pulling out, to know your close friend is dead, and then again to go on. Ted, in the dead of winter, to spread cold butter on soft bread, to go on to eat one's daily tiny eggs in order. Then, when one must fish life's wet bar of soap out from under some furniture, to find it covered with horrific fur, hair of cat, and feathers. To do this, to do that, to do this, to do that. This is not at all amusing, miserable life. Still life. Not yet. Ready but soon to ripen. Farmer's market peaches in a low aubergine bowl before a jug of rippled glass. Cold, glistening black. That's iced coffee, I said, and for a second thought, could life get much better than this? I mean, short of a plague-free existence, a peaceable kingdom, a healthy infusion of many, many dollars into my meager, depleted accounts. Texting. To tell you there are matsus in your future. 6 just picked, so crisp, green with a kiss of russeting, aromatic apples for you on this sad last day of late summer peaches. Ah, sweet peaches, we mourn their passing, impermanent, abbreviated life. It can be wrenching, yet the matsus await you. Just a moment. Jupiter and Mars grapes, too. I can't wait till you taste them. They are plumb, out of this world. Poem. When that black woman walking with the black coat, white scarf, casually arranged, one large loop, ends swept back and down her back, a tremendous white safety pin set against a toddling patch of black on black, let's go. Her pony-size, naturally white, curly-haired poodle tears off into the open field opposite the Kosminski Elementary School. Clear water. Clear water waiting, waits to fill the once full San Pellegrino pre-Alp Italiano mineral water bottle and to swirl. Clearly, the water is waiting. It waits to fill it greenly, as the bottle is not so strangely green and intended for those 2 new cut Dutch tulips. Once they are put there, clear water, waiting to swirl up, swirls up, though just a few beads enough to slip the green bottle lip. And all of this is meant to sit, all motion, composed, over there, before a print of Jan Vermeer's Officer and Laughing Girl. A calendar. These days fly, really by. Slips the mind to rip each month's page off. Oh, tiny diurnal windows, you are stiff competition for art. Truth is, it's hard, no, next to impossible, to write an ambling, narrow in scope, but boundless in feeling, plainspoken, seemingly off the cuff, casual, chatty aside, or 2 tossed in for good measure poem that mentions any sort of gorgeous flora, and not think of the work of Jimmy Schuyler. The poet who set his hat on fire. Oh, quizzical, quasi philosophical, utterer of enigmas and other anodyne ephemera. It seems you've leaned a little too close to the flame. Wingding. I didn't really suggest we call our monthly meetings wingdings. Just simply said I'd written the word, which had come to me reeling straight out of the proverbial blue, in my calendar. Even so, Cliff was dead set against it. Bob cracked up. Ed defined it. Wild, lively, lavish party. Barbara remained mum. Greg was absent. 5-hour opera. And Maggie, maybe amused, expressed no serious objection at all. Just saying. If I had a time machine, I'd go way back to Century 21, department store, and pick up the white version of the black, lightweight Theory short-sleeve shirt with double button flat breast pockets that I've got on now and love so much, but passed on long ago because I thought it was maybe too see-through. Then I'd kill Hitler. Home. The cat urinated on Yanni. Right in the face, in the photo, of the grinning Greek in the pages of the New York Times that lined the litter box. Thank you, Yanni, for being so positioned. Thank you, cat, for being so inclined. From top to bottom. Headaches, earaches, heartaches, stomach aches, huaraches. Rhyming. Changing the sheets this Sunday. A bittersweet discovery. These panties, now washed freshly, I believe they are yours, 100% sure. I'd never wear orange, and they're definitely too dainty. Reconsider, baby. Here it is again, time to take refuge in the blues, to wrest meaning from the wreckage and re-wreck it. The out of your hands, not in your pocket, disquiet time, when everything is only temporary, a crapshoot at best, uncertain in its entirety. My thoughts like fingers passing back and forth, restlessly across the embossed cover of your stark white book. Lily of the Incas. Funny how the speckled, white and pink petals, born in the umbels of the Alstroemeria, bought to adorn our dinner, opened, fully only, the following day. And how even now, a complete week later, a few of the same dead stems, though trimmed, linger, looking for all the world as if they are still living. For the birds, for J.H. First light, birds stirring. Awakened now, I, no longer dreaming, hear morning doves hollow fluting, and robins excited, commenting on the onset of spring. Then there's the one forever sounding, dire like a rusty hinge. Unexpectedly not, implying impending, disaster or doom, but holding forth as if it is a demigod, with a sent from heaven song. Thanks for that, and for taking the icy silence of winter, burning with uncertainty, away. In a moment, sunstruck petals resting above, bright green bracts, were racked by whirling wind and rain. Their veins, once flush, are now collapsed, expressions of the dark and wild storm. To my beautiful enthusiast, unwittingly, the way deep water moves, thoughts of the darkness departed. Or I thought of the darkness as departed. I think the darkness departed. I just looked at the data, day in and day out, idiosyncratic and fragile, and read up on our passing impermanent life, the every word under the sun edition. It was not on the up and up, not straightforward or even on the level. Now I say, let there be lightness and silence without malice, with no salve to apply or substance to ingest. I have no flower cluster abstraction to offer. Impossible in spikes of grass, a flower enclosed. Its mission, unfold, find a place for joy in this turd-strewn lot. From the margins. As long as we insist on breathing, there is no escaping. Life shaped by longing and loss, with no darkness or irony, their shadows precede them. Without intentionality, they empty the beauty of night-blooming flowers, hike through the muck while holding out and holding on, move us to utter our desires as often as there are days. Maybe you know by now, I spend a lot of time with the language of fragility and mortality, of moments swallowed up and pulled forward toward chaos. Do you think that's too heavy? Do you think I should make it funny? Or do you want me to continue messaging from the margins, smoothing the convoluted loops for you?